We are going to be playing some Bant manipulation for the next bit of the stream. This deck is pretty sweet. It's the blue-green manipulation shell. Lots of ramp, mana dorks, Nissa to power up big manipulations and Krasis. Then we also have white for Teferi, Shalai, Tolsimir, and Deputy of Detention, all of which are really nice tools against the aggressive decks. Shalai means they can't burn your face, Tolsimir gains you some life and kills the Steamkin, and Teferi just slows down the game, which is kind of what you're looking for. Just, like, buy some time, hit your land drops, so you can cast some big game-ending spells. The deck is pretty fun, and I was doing pretty well with it off-stream last night. Figured I'd play it on-stream a bit. You were wondering if there might be a way to have Simic Nexus with Mass Manip or Entrancing in the sideboard. Yeah, you'd have to be like really mana dork heavy, right? I think in order to play Mass Manipulation, you do just need like Paradise Druid and Incubation Druid. Partially to ramp your mana fast enough, but also because you need so much blue mana, and it's really hard to facilitate that in your mana base without the mana dorks. But you can build a version of Simic Nexus like that that's really mana dork heavy and then gets to board into a manipulation deck. It's slightly awkward. Manipulation is like bad against a lot of the things Nexus is bad against. So like discard spells and counter spells. So you're not really helping yourself on that axis. Fort Erasure. Ooh, hero. Okay. Kinda just want to play my Shalai. Means Oath of Kaya doesn't do anything. Obviously they can Teferi me then. Then I get to land in Nissa though, start pressuring the Teferi. Alright. Seems reasonable. Yeah, for sure, Saitel. That makes sense. All of those like transformative board plans, you have to make sure your post-board configuration is weak to different things to your pre-board configuration. Otherwise, you just aren't gaining that edge that you're looking for out of those sorts of plans. I'm a bit scared of Dovin's veto. Ooh, they are attacking. What? They have a moment of craving? I guess? I'm so confused. It can only be moment of craving, right? Tapping my opponent out is nice though, because then I get to resolve a Nissa. The moment of craving is like an actual dead card while Shalai's in play. Whatever. So we've got a couple different options here. I could play a Nissa. It runs into Dovin's veto, which is the only thing they can really have here. Or I can level up the Incubation Druid. They can't kill the Druid because of the Shalai. And then we get to cast a big Krasis next turn off the Druid. So we did 3, 6, 7, 8. And that way we don't get hit by veto. For no good reason. I like that plan. I think I'm going to do that. Let's attack with the Shalai. Level up my Druid. And then next turn we can cast a 6/6. Draw 3 cards. And we already know my opponent doesn't have a Narset to punish this line. If they did play a Narset, we'd get to land our Nissa. Teferi. Sure. So Teferi gets to bounce our Shalai. That is fine. Right, adapt the Druid. Can we do any nonsense with Nissa into Krasis? Might be able to. So I go 3, 4, 5, Nissa, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sweet. Krasis for 1 less, but we have a Nissa in play. And we get to attack Teferi with a Nissa land. Seems pretty great to me. Alright, I'm in. Alright, plus my Nissa on this Glacial Fortress. Glacial Fortress attacks Teferi. If they double block, we can just play Shalai. If they take the hits, Krasis. Either result is like fairly good for us, I think. Yeah, this is fine. I just get to play my Shalai again. It means we don't get to have a good Krasis turn, but I guess it's possible they now get to like Elder Spell my Nissa to grow the Teferi. Immediately bounce Shalai again. Should be a pretty good turn for my opponent. Have I tried any Esper mid? I still need to try that. I must admit, now they're cutting Thief of Sanity, the deck's starting to look a bit better to me. Oh yeah, Hexproof stops Elder Spells, so they need to remove Shalai. Good point. This Shalai is just amazing. It doesn't die to Oath of Kaya. The blue-black kill spell only bounces Shalai. It doesn't actually kill her. So they end up like 1 for 0ing themselves to get Shalai off the board. You thought Thief was the main star of the deck? I think the people were just like ready for the Thief plan, right? Feels that way sometimes. It's just like such a known quantity. Alright, so I'm gonna 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Just cast a big Krasis. I'm not in love with having to maybe discard some cards, but I guess this is still great. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I can just do 10 and kill the Teferi, which is also pretty appealing, since I'm going to have to discard cards anyway. Might just do that. Yeah, I think I'm just going to draw 4 cards, because then I get to kill Teferi at the same time. I have 2 more Krasis anyway, and I just really, like, this seems kind of pointless to draw too many cards and have to discard on end step regardless. I can kill my land. Brutal. Alright. can play my Shalai back out. The opponent has an objectively better Teferi than us. It's a nice Teferi. You're not wrong, Squirmet. It's a very nice Teferi. Our board is kind of absurd. Yeah, I'm not surprised our opponent scooped there. Esper midrange. What do we want against Esper midrange? Mass manipulation seems very good. Thorn Lieutenant is quite good against Teferi. I feel like Entrancing Melody's not great. I'm not sure what we really want to steal with this. I think we mainly want to steal Planeswalkers. I guess it gets pretty scary if they board in Thief of Sanity against us, but we do have some answers to that in, like, Tolsimir. The counter spells don't seem great because of Teferi. We might still want some of them anyway. Just like try and kill the Teferis. I'm also just wondering about these Thorn Lieutenants, but they're probably not amazing. Let's try this. See how this plays. I love all the different aesthetic things you can get on Arena, I'm not gonna lie. It takes a lot of restraint to not end up with a bunch of them. This hand is almost great. Probably can't keep it. It's like so close. This is a breeding pool I think I would keep. Jeez. I don't really want to go to 5. It's really unfortunate we're against a 4 Erasure deck, so even if we hit the green source they can take the Druid, but I think I'm still just going to keep against them. Having the turn 2 Druid, so nice against them. Pressures Teferi very well. Alright, guess I'm just Jadelighting. Not really into casting the Krasis here, and I would like to cast a creature. It does expose my Druid to removal. Then the Jadelight digs me towards my next green source anyway. Ooh, Mass Manipulation is great. Honestly, I might just keep it on top. I know we're like a little ways off, but we've got things to do until then. They saw our super secret tech. I'm sure they knew it was here all along. Get to kill the Druid, that is fine. Still have a 3-2 in play that can pressure Planeswalkers. Alright, am I just casting a mini Krasis or this Paradise Druid? Honestly, I kinda like casting the Paradise Druid. Either ramps out a bigger Krasis, or lets me cast Mass Manip. Even lets me cast Tolsimir. That one's not as relevant. Yike. Alright. Yeah, I wonder what they're taking. I assume they're taking Krasis, but both Krasis and Manipulation are quite strong here. Line, take Krasis, never play creatures or planeswalkers. Yeah, I think they just have to take the Krasis. It's going to draw us 2 next turn. And dig us towards more bombs and top end. I'm a bit worried if I cast Tolsimir, I get hit badly by Kaya's Wrath. They also killed my Paradise Druid pretty aggressively earlier when they didn't need to, though. Which might indicate they don't have the Wrath yet. They mill off the Forteratia. They did. I kinda just want to cast this. And try and get my opponent dead. It's really awkward because like the Tolsimir is such a good follow-up to Akaya's Wrath. But them not taking this doesn't indicate they don't have Akaya's Wrath, because both of these are just more powerful, and we didn't have the second green for this anyway. Alright, get to kill my wolf. Pretty rude. Ooh, nice draw. Keep adding pressure. Right. It's not even clear I meant to kill the Teferi, honestly. Steel Teferi, nah, this Teferi doesn't do enough. It doesn't have any loyalty on it, and the +1's just not relevant to us at the moment. Now I kind of don't want to cast anything. Jadelight Ranger just digs us to our next big spell though. And like, if we just pass the turn and they Kaya's Wrath us, it's basically a time walk at the moment. You like stopping the counter spells? That's reasonable. You could hold this in hand, they could have Bellhorn in their deck. Bellhorn is so good against our beatdown plan. Alright, they have the Wrath. Assuming they do not have a counter for this Nissa though. I think I'm just going to keep holding this Hallowed Fountain for Bellhorn. And before our opponent manipulates our Nissa, please no. That would be so brutal. I guess holding the land is kind of rough against this Teferi, yeah, that's what I was about to say. Because now they start cutting us off mana with the bounce effect. Yike. Just refusing to play anything into this manipulation. Makes sense. What's the thought process to holding land? I was holding it because of a lot of these Esper hero decks at the moment. People are playing a lot of Martin Muller's list that has 4 Bellhaunts. And Bellhaunt's like a pretty reasonable card against us, because the 3/4 blocks the 3/3 so well. so it's reasonable to assume that card would be in post-board. And I didn't want Bellhaunt to make me discard my manipulation. So I figured it made more sense to hold it for that reason. So that manipulation wasn't the only card in my hand. What's the list of 4 Bellhaunts? It's Martin Miller's list. It's Esper mid-range, but instead of Thief of Sanity, he's playing Narsitz. Oh, awesome, Injectilio. That's so exciting. I'm really happy for you. There's an Oath of Kaya. There's a world in which they're meant to cast that because of Nissa. It means they don't have a counter in hand. Also, was just really good with the Teferi minus, yeah. Makes sense. Get out of Nissa range. God, if we'd not held our land, we'd get to steal both of these. So we're being really punished for that. I kind of just want to steal the Narset, so it doesn't get another activation. This is like, maybe bad. Maybe this gives my opponent an opening to make a big Teferi, but like us getting a Narset activation and then missing one seems worthwhile. Hey Bluebee, great to see you. Hope you're doing well, friend. Yeah, so if I hadn't held the land earlier, we would have this. They can tuck the Narset so that the Teferi's plus starts working next turn, and it means they get to redraw the Narset in a couple turns. Right, we desperately need a Nissa, or another manipulation, or a Krasis. They plussed, yeah, maybe they just wanted to get it, like, it's possible they remembered this ability and just wanted to get Teferi out of Nissa range. It's not even obvious that it's necessarily a punt. Or they wanted the extra 2 mana for this command, the Dreadhorde. Yeah. I don't really know how I win this one. Probably involves mass manipulation. You're doing okay. Internet was out last night and you had to skip the stream. I'm doing pretty well, Bluebee. Got a bunch of jobs done. Feeling pretty positive about things. Wish I knew what I was doing in Standard at the moment. None of the decks really speak to me that much. I'm feeling pretty good. Llanowar Elf. Strong. You don't think a single person knows what's happening in Standard at the moment? Standard's wild at the moment. So many different things going on. Anyway, I've been really enjoying Nissa as a card. I'm just not sure what deck to play her in. Like, whatever deck I play, I want to have a bunch of Nissas and a bunch of Hydroid Krasis. You keep trying to make Grixis Piles work. Nicol Bolas is a hell of a Magic card. Alright, opponent, we'll go to game 3. Just had a few too many blank draw steps there. I don't know, we saw Kaya's Wraths, that kind of makes me want Thorn Lieutenant over the Incubation Druids. Don't know how to feel about Frilled Mystic. I kind of don't want too many counter spells in my deck against Teferi, but I guess part of the idea is we can pressure Teferi with our early creatures. Yeah, it didn't end up mattering, Milkman. You're correct. Let's try this. The Nexus deck you were playing had Nissa and Finale of Revelation. I was watching Steph do that a bunch on Arena. Seemed sweet. And draw a bunch of cards, and then you get to untap all your lands and still just have infinite mana. Alright, the sound is not exciting, but pretty reasonable. Maybe I have to play more of the bug mid-range deck. I was really enjoying that. It's actually doing surprisingly well with it. Ooh, Forest. I do need to hit my land drops. This is tough. It's like fine thing to keep on top. I guess if like loads of the cards underneath this lands, Jadelight's gonna help out anyway. And then if the cards underneath this aren't lands, then we just really want to make sure we're not missing a land drop. Aw, hey Vivi. I hope watching some Magic helps with that. It's good to have you here. Alright, this is awkward spot. I really want to attack for 2. I also really don't want this to get bounced by Teferi. It's not even like I'm doing that much with the mana. Guess I meant to attack. I don't know. Kinda just don't have anything going on at the moment for all these discard spells. Uh-huh. I think I'm going to try Aaron's Sultai deck some more in a little while. Maybe try adding some Nissas to it. No attack, yeah. That spot is always so tough. Knowing what to do there. If I had the 4th land in hand, maybe I don't attack, because then I know I can cast Tolsimir, but that's the literal best draw in my deck. As is always the case when you have a Nissa in your deck. Which one am I animating? Probably Hallowed Fountain. Now we get to immediately kill this Nissa before it gets any more value. How much mana do we have next turn? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if they cast the Teferi, we get to manipulate for 2. Oh, sweet. Oh, this is the Drowned Secrets deck. Yeah, Canister was playing that deck a little while ago. Didn't seem like the best. But... Right, am I just casting Manipulation, or am I battling with these lands? I wish I knew if they have a Dovin's Veto in hand. It would make this choice so easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, I can attack and then manipulate post-combat based on what happens. I just really don't want to run into Dovin's Veto. For no good reason. If I animate a land and attack, I run into, like, a kill spell. Yeah, I guess I just manipulation. Go for the high upside play. Like, both these plays have the potential to be blown out, but at least, if this one resolves, it's, like, really good for us. Whereas if the other one doesn't get blown out, we don't even, like, gain that much traction, because they can just untap and Kaya's Wrath our board. Sick. Alright. Plus my Teferi. Kinda just want to minus this so it doesn't get Elder Spelled. I wish we could have Negate up here, but... Oh wait, we can because of Teferi. Jeez. Oh, maybe I messed up there. Huh. If I can have Negate up, then I'm just meant to leave little Teferi alive, right? So that they can't fight over the Negate. Well. Don't even know how much this card matters, but... guess I counter it. Sick. That was a good manipulation. Opponent not having the veto was important. Claimed ourselves a pair of Teferis. Alright. God, I like these manipulation decks too much. They're so much fun to play. They're kind of awful to play against, but... yeah, I think you're just like always meant to go for the manipulation play in that spot. Because your opponent can have a kill spell or a veto. It's like about as likely that they have either. Just makes the most sense to make the play that wins you the game if they have the wrong answer, rather than the one that like gains you a bit of traction if they have the wrong answer. Yeah, for sure, Winterbrew. Having little Teferi in your deck just makes it like really scary for your opponent to have Dovin's Veto in their deck. Even though Dovin's Veto would otherwise be like a pretty good card against you. This game is going to be hard to win. Currently have a bunch of mana sources and a blank piece of cardboard. Never mind. No longer a blank piece of cardboard. Ooh, even better. Om nom hero. My wolf is very well fed, thank you. Take good care of it. Won't hear anyone say otherwise. Dovin's Veto. It's pretty good. I guess I could have attacked before casting that. Bit loose. Yike. Alright. Hero doing hero things, I guess. Druid getting a lot of respect, yeah. Opponent knows something rampy is up. And like a 3/5 is better than a 3/3 as well. Cannot currently cast a manipulation if we draw one, but yuck. Jeez, everyone's just playing this Martin Miller Esper deck. Nissa's just so good in it. Even if she makes the mana a tiny bit awkward. Believe I have to try and take down this Nissa. Sucks to pass up on like so much damage. It's not like the damage matters anyway though, they're just gonna overkaya me again. Much more important to like make sure opponent doesn't pull ahead on cards too much. Dig Through Time. Dig Through Time's a strong card. I'd register Dig Through Time. So you can bounce Oath of Kaya. Maybe I'm just meant to be trying out this silly Esper deck. The Esper mid-range decks used to always look really mopey, but now that they've replaced Thief with Narset, the decks look a lot more convincing. Get rid of your silly Windrake that always just dies anyway. Replace it with Dig Through Time. The only thing more mopey than Esper mid is Bant mid. I don't know, I quite like this deck, but like, I kind of hate the dedicated mass manip decks because it feels like you flood out a bunch and you don't have much game against aggro. Whereas this deck does feel like it has game against aggro because of Tolsimir and friends. Yeah, that was pretty good for us. Now we get to try and kill this hero. We want to kill the wolf token so their hero lives. Tilt. Yep. That was an absurd draw. It was a wholly unreasonable draw. Because it shuts off Oath of Kaya. True Dawn. Thank you so much for that raid. Welcome to everyone joining us from True Dawn's stream. I actually dropped in a bit earlier and saw you were playing the Simic deck. Simic Nexus deck. Hope it was treating you well. Seemed like a lot of fun. Oh my gosh, you have a Simic emote? Oh, there's someone else's Simic emote. Okay. This is such a yike. Do I just have to take both heroes? Maybe. I really want to save this for a Planeswalker, but I guess having some bodies in play is nice with the Shalai. You got to 30 with it? Sweet. I think you were around like 50-ish when I dropped in. So, Ripjaw is busted. Yeah, I was trying out Ripjaw earlier in a couple decks. I've been really impressed by the card. Against the red decks and the Gruul decks. Card is being really underrated, I think. Which is understandable, like, you know, for most of its time in Standard, that card has sucked. But it just lines up really well at the moment. You got so dunked by Ripjaw. Card is great. Of course you got dunked by Ripjaw. Alright, I would like to... If we draw a 3-mana Teferi, we can start... Oh my god. This Esper deck is something. Jeez. When did Dreadhorde us? It's kind of absurd how much better the new versions of Esper look than the old ones. Alright, we beat Esper last round. Hopefully we can do it again. I think I brought in Thorn Lieutenants, didn't I? Because they were bringing in Kaiserraps against me last time round. I was actually really bad at Dominaria, Blackwater. Generally, like, pretty happy with my drafting, but specifically at Dominaria, I was just, like, very bad at the format. Oh my gosh, Dokamoy. Poor Dokamoy. Awesome Trudon. I might take a look at it later. I do really like Nexus decks, I'm not gonna lie. I know, I found it really hard to figure out in Dominaria exactly what was like the good thing to be doing. Because it felt like, you know, all the good versions of the different archetypes would like end up sucking against something. Okay, this is good. Couple good 5s. Even if they have a 4 ratio, we get to keep 1. Is Timeout more like a Forest or a Bolus? I feel like there are like disparaging things that could be said about Grixis midrange in response to that. Oh, awesome, Just Dave. Glad you could catch some of the stream. Alright, I'm just gonna fire off a mini Krasis. Get to draw a card. Having a body on board is good against Teferi. I guess they tap out for Teferi, we're really happy anyway, because we have this Nissa. It's true. Playing Grixis midrange does sound like a mistake. In every conceivable regard. Poor Grixis midrange players. I guess one thing I am worried about is, jeez, this Bellhorn is insane. Our whole hand is free freeze. How do we beat this? What would I play in an MCQ this weekend? That's a good question. Probably just 4-color Dreadhorde, at the rate things are going. 4-color Dreadhorde is like pretty reasonable deck. Nissa is not in fact a 3/3. So I guess I'm not doing this double block quite yet. Swing in, they block, play Tolsimir. I guess. They've seen like multiple Tolsimirs. I feel like there's a reasonable chance they wouldn't block, but I guess if they don't block, we get in damage. Oath of Kaya, yep. Alright, I'm kind of off this deck. Feels like the updated versions of Esper mid-range are pretty decent against it. Can you choose not to fight? Up to, okay. I mean, I guess I'm just gonna wildly overcommit to the board. I don't really know what else I can do. I can save the Tolsimir to try and eat the Bellhorn after it blocks. I guess overcommitting to the board is bad against removal anyway. You're not a Tolsimir believer, yeah. That does look like quite good against mono red and such, but feels reasonably embarrassing here. Making a 3/3 token is just like so bad against Teferi, right? And Oath of Kaya. Just like a huge chunk of the format it lines up poorly against. Can't attack into a 3/4. Yeah, it's a bit of a problem. Maybe that's just like a problem with the Nissa decks. Full stop. I guess I kind of have to play this out, or else they just get me with another Bellhorn. But having the 3/3s in play doesn't do anything. It's not really a problem with the Nexus Nissa decks, that is true. But like, the manipulation ones have that problem to an extent. I guess you have like a bunch of entrancing melodies in the manipulation ones that can get the Bellhaunts out the way. Kind of swings things a bit. You found trying to push damage in this format to be a terrible plan at all junctures. You just need to like come up with some unbeatable endgame instead. I guess that's like the principle of how mono red. Yeah, but Bobbin, that's like actually the principle of how mono red is built at the moment, right? Like, mono red's A plan is to push damage, but it needs to have this B plan where it doesn't need to push damage and can lean on a frenzy instead, because pushing damage just isn't good enough in the format. It kind of makes sense. It's why like they moved away from risk factor. Alright, I am a little bit off the stack. The new Esper just seems very good against it. It's kind of struggling with all the deal free effects. Just doing something different.